Well, the program is still Good Morning Abuja. If you just tuned in, showing on NT Channel 5, Abuja, the Unity Station. Yes, now let's talk about something that almost everybody in the world does. And what is that thing? Photography. I'm sure everyone has one or two pictures in their archives. This is one thing, whether you like it or not, that we cannot do without. So this morning we're talking about photography and the future of photography in the world generally. And here in the studio we have a content creator and a photographer. His name is Becca Nenza. That name doesn't sound Nigerian. Are you a Nigerian, first of all?
Yeah, definitely. I'm first of all a Nigerian thoroughbred from Plateau State.
Anyway, even if you're not in Nigeria, we love you like that.
You're welcome to
Thank
the
you very
program.
much. Thank you.
What a lovely name.
And very unique.
And
Yeah,
very
it is.
unique.
It is.
Okay, so now I'm curious.
Yes.
There are other things you could have done. You chose photography and the content creator. But tell us about it. Why did you go into that?
Okay, so as a kid, I discovered I was very creative and I explored different mediums of expressing my creativity. I tried drawing, I tried dancing, I tried singing, I even tried to become a DJ at some point.
You look like
You do. You look like what really.
But photography is something that kind of stuck with me because when I was, I think, a teenager, 12, 13, 14, my dad got this camcorder. And that's what I used to take to church every Sunday, record videos of people, and I had fun doing it. So time went by, and then the camera got spoiled. So for that period of time, I wasn't doing anything photography related until university. So that actually pushed me to study mass communication because I was very interested in how cameras work, the people behind the cameras, people in front of the cameras, and so it led me to mass communication at university. From there, I got access to more professional cameras, which I then explored. And long story short, photography.
Here we
Today,
are.
it's
Here
history.
we
Yes,
are.
yes.
But the only thing he did not explore was cooking.
What makes you think that's not even side hobby?
Side hobby.
I grew up
But
with
do you know how to cook? You
yeah,
don't cook like
that's
that.
no, I actually know how to cook. So I grew up with three siblings, four siblings, sorry, three boys and one girl. So obviously we had to learn how to
They'll
cook.
pamper the girl, of course.
I
You know how to
know.
cook. Let's
I had
leave
to learn
that
how to
aside.
cook. Yeah.
A wonderful venture you have. You began a long time ago, right from when you were a kid, and here
yes.
the whole lot of interest is here now. Okay, let's delve into the world of photography. With the emergence of technology, AI, camera, smartphones, camera,
Yeah.
how has it impacted in the photography industry?
First of all, I would say it has improved access because previously you had to have a professional camera to be able to be a photographer. But with technology and with AI and advancements, the camera has been made as portable as your smartphone.
Yes.
So every single person now has the opportunity to become a photographer, be it professional or just mainstream.
Okay. You know, sorry, let me add this to it. With the smartphones, everybody can snap. Even me, I can snap.
I know. And even if someone looks ugly in the picture,
There's a way
there are
they
tools to
find
make it
that
look
AI
good.
is wonderful.
Yes.
Real.
Yeah.
I want you to just talk to us more about that.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is technology will only advance.
Yes.
We cannot take away from that fact. But in as much as it's advancing, there is still a need for professional photography. Companies, brands, organizations, even individuals still require professional portraits, professional images for their companies and everything. So in as much as the smartphone exists, I still believe there's a very strong market for professional photography. And I'm not at all threatened by the
I was
emergence of
asking you, do
smartphones.
you feel threatened
Nah.
at any point in time? Because whether I like it or not, of course, before you, there were photographers.
Yeah, of course.
In your time, there are photographers.
Yes.
After you,
There
there
will
will
still
be
be.
photographers.
Very true.
And of course, everybody have their brands. Do you at any point feel threatened, especially with the emergence of social media?
A very short answer is no. And the reason is because the market is very big. Even till tomorrow, till next year, there will still be people who need our services.
Definitely.
And even the ones that are existing, the ones that came before us and the ones that will come after us, they will all have their clientele, right? And then with smartphone, the only issue now that we've had to face is the issue of Why is it that expensive? Can't I use my phone? So that's like the back and forth we usually do with a lot of clients. But at the end of the day, we try to help them understand that your phone can only do up to a certain point. When you get to that level, there's the need for the professional work, because being a photographer is not just having a digital camera or a professional camera. There's a lot of work that goes into it. You have to become a business person. You have to know how to handle human beings. So these are things that we've kind of combined to become professional photographers. So if you are dealing with clients, these are the things you need to understand. And to add to this, there is a certain situation that may occur. Let's say, okay, for instance, now a client wants to put your images on billboards. Your phone resolution cannot be that big, right? So you have to have a professional camera, one with enough resolution to be able to blow the image up as the billboards we see everywhere in town, even digital billboards too.
You see, that's why he's always saying that there is a need for
Yeah, there's always a need. There's always
Actually,
a
I
need.
don't think we can do without photography.
Yes. Okay, talking about a need for a photographer, it's a very digital age we are right now. And as a photographer, talk to us, what consideration do you put in mind when you are snapping that picture, when you are sharing that images? What consideration should we talk about here?
Okay. So there are technical terms, technical things that we look out for. There is composition, there's lighting, and so many other ones. But the most important thing to every photograph is the story behind it.
Okay.
So that's the thing that kind of connects every photographer together, be it wildlife, documentary, portrait, events. It's a story.
Okay.
If you're a documentary photographer now and you're on assignment to maybe a war zone, what's the story you're trying to tell? If you're an event photographer covering a wedding, what is the story you're trying to tell? Same thing with portrait, same thing with product photography. It's all the story. So that's the major consideration. And when you get the story right, every other thing kind of falls into place, because now you start thinking of composition. How do I frame this subject to best tell the story? How do I light this subject to best tell the story? So everything kind of revolves around the story you're trying to put out.
Okay, now I don't need to be told that photography is lucrative as a career because of personal experiences.
Yeah.
To get a photographer to do photo shoot for you, I know what it
You
will
can
cost.
say that again.
Why now?
Professional.
Because in
There's
the
a
name
need.
of professionalism.
Yes.
Talk to us.
Come on.
Okay, so
I mean, do you? No, it's paining me.
I can understand the pain. I can understand the pain.
People are making money.
Yes.
To
I'm
some
even
extent,
thinking of
we're
changing
making-
career now.
So one of the factors that actually determines the cost of photography is the equipment. So previously, you know how the country is right now. Previously, things used to be very affordable, but now the same camera that cost $200 3 years
It was
ago.
before now.
No, even
It was before now. Don't talk about the economy now. Before now, 4, 5 years, 6 years ago.
well, you can't compare then and now, to be honest.
No, I don't even want to try
Everything
it.
evolved.
Everything evolves.
So I
But-
try to agree with what he's saying.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Let him talk
honestly.
to us.
Photographer number
Yes,
2.
he talked about they are making money. So let him talk to
So
us. how they
for us
make
to be
money.
able to
Yes.
create the kind of images we create, we need to have certain equipment, and those equipment are expensive, coupled with the editing time, because anybody can take a camera and snap a picture.
Please snap me. I'll edit it myself.
That's one thing that clients say a lot. So at the end of it, and then, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know what raw files are?
Yes, I
Yes,
know.
we know.
How do you? Well, I wasn't expecting the answer, but sure. So there are certain things that we do that not everybody understands. We've spent a lot of time trying to learn these things and master it. So, like I said, there's the business aspect of it. So you can talk to any regular photographer, and the person you can just deal with the person on the side. But when you start looking at people who are really seasoned in their craft, people who understand the concept of contracts, agreements, business dealings, that's where you start to find out that okay, they have employees that they have to pay to. You factor in everything because of equipment, transportation, time spent editing, the knowledge that you already have with
The
photography.
creativity you're trying to
Exactly,
put
because
in it.
creativity is not something that you can just pick from the streets. Everybody has their own unique way. And like I said, the market is big. So a client will usually look for the person that resonates with them.
You know, we are coming back to talk about that creativity, but let's go on this quickly. When we come back.
No problem.
Yes, we have been talking about the future of photography, and we have our guest with us that have been doing justice. Yes, he has told us a whole lot. Now, let's go on this quick break. When we come back, the program continues. Stay with us. Welcome back, and Denza is still with us, and we are looking at the future of photography. Yes, before we went on that break, we were talking about the creativity aspect. Yes, Lizzie, obviously there are some studios you go to, you will be angry.
No,
and
true.
that is where creativity
Comes
comes
in,
in.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not creative about this. Is it because of the money? Why should I go into it? Talk to us about the area of creativity, because people love good things.
Of course.
Yes. So one of the major factors or the determining factor of being a creative is your ability to question everything, first of all, your ability to understand things, and then your ability to create out of nothing. So let's say you put three photographers now in a room and put a cup on a table and tell them, okay, each of you should take a picture of that cup. You're going to get very similar images, first of all, but at the same time, you're going to get very different perspectives because not everybody functions the same way, right? So, how my approach to creativity is, like I said, question everything. So, why is this thing like this? Why did it place it this certain way? Can I move it? If I move to this direction, how does it look? If I move to this direction, how does it look? So, everything kind of encompasses what we call creativity. And then you also have to take note of past experiences and even other people's experiences. So if you are somebody who consider yourself to be creative, you should be somebody who is inquisitive, somebody who learns a lot from the things around him. We can look at something and interpret it differently than another person would. And that's kind of how I approach creativity. I don't look at something and say, this is it. I'm like, if this is it, so what can it be other than what I'm seeing? That's kind of my approach.
Okay, so that leads me to talk about branding. You have your brand because, like you said, if you bring two, three photographers together, they may have similar pictures, but there will still be something different about the three of them. Tell us about your own brand. Why should I patronize it? Give me one reason why I should leave other people and come to you. What is unique about you?
What you are doing differently.
I can't really place my finger on what it is, but if you've seen my work, if you're familiar with my work, then you should be able to tell as the consumer. Because the thing with us creatives is usually just create and move on to the next thing. So if you are trying to look for the thing that separates me from any other person, I would honestly say it's my own drive and my own passion.
Okay.
Because like I said, I question everything. If something is kept in front of me, I'm asking 10 questions, 20 questions with follow-up questions, trying to understand what it is and how I can make it be something else. So that's one thing that I know stands out for me as a photographer and as a creative. To question everything, see what other people are not seeing. Because I've been to many events where there are like 10, 20 photographers and my images end up being the one that they use.
Wow.
Because I spotted something that nobody else spotted. Everybody's looking at the speaker, but there's somebody who is about to speak that is preparing, and then there's an action he does that I'm the only one seeing it. So I get it, and then you're like, this is the image we want to use. So you have to be very sharp, notice everything around you, situational awareness.
Talking about creativity and noticing all of this to make your brand stand out. Now let's talk about challenges. In anything you do at all, at least there are challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of these challenges since you venture into this content creating?
Okay, so let me start with early challenges. Uh, Up until recently, photography hasn't really been mainstream. People will look at you and call you cameraman, or people will look at your work and try to downplay the effort you put into it. But these days, when, like she said, that we started charging the big amount, people are now kind of forced to appreciate photography from a professional standpoint. So people now see it as a lucrative career to go into. So talking about the challenges, number one will have to be finances. So because like I said, it's very expensive getting the equipment these days. Besides finances, I would say time, because you need time to create, and then you have to think about what you're going to create. After you create it, you have to edit it. After you edit it, you have to post it. You have to monitor how it's doing, and then repeat the cycle all over again. And then there is this thing that is popular with creatives called burnout and imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is when you get to a certain level that you start to doubt yourself. Let's say you've achieved something very important, but everybody's like, congratulations, you did well, but you're telling yourself, am I a fraud? Am I a scam? Like did I really do this? So what next for me? So that's something that really destroys a lot of us. And it's the one of the ways I found to combat it is just move on. So if I accomplish something, I'm looking for the next thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't dwell on it. If not, I'll keep thinking,
That's nice.
could I have done better? Could I have done worse? And I'll just get all in my head about it.
And I mean, this is just awesome.
Yes,
You know, I'm
very,
sure
very.
younger ones are watching you. Just before we round up, just give us 1 or 2 words for them. Those aspiring
Mm.
to be photographers. I don't want to say aspiring to be like
Like
you. So those aspiring to be photographers,
Yeah.
what word of advice do you have for them?
Okay. So one very important thing is never give up,
mm,
because you'll be tested. Believe me.
Trials and
your work
temptations.
will be
Believe me,
tested.
you do a lot of things that people will like. You do a lot of things that people will definitely not like, and they will tell you to your face.
Criticize.
Yes, they will criticize
But
you.
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but some
Because
people don't
make
know how to
improve.
approach criticism.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
and some people can be very blunt about it.
Yes.
So you have to develop this kind of thick skin.
But do you get angry when people correct you? Or when
No.
people criticize your work?
I really don't, because
So you take it in good faith.
I've grown past, and then
Oh, nice.
behind every comment is an element of truth. So I try to find the
Just
truth
to
in what
make
they are
you,
saying. Yeah.
better.
So if somebody tells me, what you did is trash, I'm like, please tell me more.
Trash.
Yeah, people can be very blunt.
That's hard.
Yes.
Understand
So
what
you,
he's
you try
trying
to engage
say.
them in the
Yeah.
conversation and try to understand why they made such a comment, and then you now reflect upon yourself and say, okay, this is how I can improve on it. So one thing I'll say is be consistent. Don't give up. You can take short breaks, but don't give up. Just keep
Nice.
pushing, because you
That's
know
a
where you're
very
getting
good
to.
one. Listen, in life generally, we don't
Yes.
need to give
Give
up.
up.
Yes. Say now who give up lose.
That's so.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Nenza,
Yes, ma'am.
for your time with us on the program this
Yeah.
morning. We do really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
I want to say the sky is just what?
Your stepping
Starting-
stone.
yeah.
Not even the limits.
Yeah, it's the starting point, because there's a lot of space up there.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we have been talking with Nenza Baker, a photographer and also a content creator. And together we looked at the future of photography. And he has advised us this morning. Generally, we want to take that advice. In life, do not give up. Now let's run a quick break. When we come back, the program continues. Stay with us.